We're going to continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. We had begun the translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada to Canto 4, Chapter 7, Text 36. We just began to see how all the activities are meant for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu. Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita. And he says, unless we please him, the actions bind us to the material world. Daksha's wife is saying that this ceremony is as good as a decorated dead body without the presence of the Lord, showing the importance that all the sacrifices are meant for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. So reading on, the comparison is equally applicable to the social body. Material civilization is very proud of being advanced, but it is actually the useless trunk of a body without a head. Without Krishna consciousness, without an understanding of Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, any advancement in a civilization, no matter how sophisticated, is of no value. So Bhagavatam keeps repeating. Bhagavatam keeps repeating, and Srila Prabhupada here is also trying to say the same thing, that God consciousness, Krishna consciousness, that is what should be the center of society, to actually maintain peace, harmony, happiness in this material world. And we can see the current state of affairs of the world. Why is there so much unrest? There's so much inequality, so much wars, slaughter, animal slaughter. Why? Because we have turned away from Krishna consciousness. If we simply we bring Krishna in the center, we bring God in the center, then that is actually an advanced civilization. It doesn't mean that we don't do the material advancement. Sure, we need it, we are used to a certain lifestyle, so that's needed. But at the same time, we need to bring God in our center. We need to become God conscious. There is a statement in the Hari Bhakti Sudodaya 3.11, but Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya jati shastram japastapaha apranasyeva dehasya mandanam lokaranjanam. The purport is that sometimes when a friend or relative dies, especially among lower class men, the dead body is decorated. Dressed and ornamented, the body is taken in procession. That sort of decoration of the dead body has no actual value because the life force is already gone. So this is the Hari Bhakti Sudodaya is stating that we are decorating the dead body, but the soul is gone already. The soul does not know that we are decorating the dead body. So it's like a useless endeavor. It's more like a decoration for us instead of the soul who passed away. Similarly, without Krishna consciousness, any aristocracy, any social prestige, or any advancement of material civilization is as good as the decoration of a dead body. The name of the wife of Daksh was Prasuti, and she was the daughter of Swayambhuva Manu. Her sister Devahuti was married to Kardama Muni, and Kapila Dev, the personality of Godhead, became her son. So here Srila Prabhupada is giving us the family background. Daksha's wife, she is saying these prayers right now to Lord Vishnu. Her name is Prasuti, and she is one of the daughters of Swayambhuva Manu. Swayambhuva Manu had 3 daughters. Does anyone remember the names?
Prasuti, Akuti, and Devahuti.
That's right. Thank you. Yeah. And then so her sister Devahuti, she was married to Kardama Muni, and Kapila Dev was born to them. Kapila Dev he is an incarnation of the Supreme Lord. Prasuti then was the aunt of Lord Vishnu. So here Prabhupada is showing us the connection. There's a family relationship, no? Lord Vishnu, that's Kapila Dev himself. So Prasuti is like the Masi then. So she was asking the favor of Lord Vishnu in an affectionate mode. Since she was his aunt, she sought some special favor. Also significant in this verse is that the Lord is praised with the goddess of fortune. Wherever Lord Vishnu is worshipped, naturally there is the favor of goddess of fortune. Sanjay in Bhagavad Gita, in the last verse, he says, what is his opinion? That wherever there is Krishna, the master of mystics, and wherever there is Arjun, there is going to be good fortune. The goddess of fortune is there wherever there is Krishna. She never leaves him. So Sanjay says that in the last verse of Bhagavad Gita. He says, that is my opinion, that wherever there's Krishna, wherever there's Arjun, he says a few things like fame, good fortune, like this. So wherever Lord Vishnu is worshipped, naturally there is the favor of the goddess of fortune. Lakshmi Devi is a chaste wife of Lord Vishnu. A chaste wife always wants to be with the husband. So wherever Lord Vishnu is being worshipped, Lakshmi Devi will be there. She has to be there. Lord Vishnu is addressed as Amrita, transcendental. So what we are trying to do, we are always trying to separately get the favor of Goddess Lakshmi without without inviting Lord Vishnu. But what is the proper way? We invite Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi Devi together. Together, like Sita Ram, Radha Krishna, together, Lakshmi Narayan. Lord Vishnu is addressed as Amrita Transcendental. The demigods, including Brahma and Lord Shiva, were produced after the creation, but Lord Vishnu existed before the creation. We have read in quite detail in the second and the third canto about the creation, how Mahavishnu is lying on the Karana ocean and he's looking at the material, at the Mahatattva, and by his glance, this agitation of the modes happens and the entire material world is created. Then gradually, Lord Brahma, Shiva, four Kumaras, all of them are created. But Lord Vishnu exists before the creation. Adi Shankaracharya also says that Narayan, he exists before the creation. He's not a product of this material world. He's transcendental. The demigods, including Brahma and Lord Shiva, were produced after the creation, but Lord Vishnu existed before the creation. He is therefore addressed as Amrita. Lord Vishnu is worshipped with his internal energy by the Vaishnavas. So the Vaishnavas always worship Lord Vishnu together with his energy. As we just said, Sitaram or Radha Krishna, Lakshmi Narayan. Always the Lord is together with his internal energy, with his consort. The Lord is not without his consort. So Vaishnavas always worship Krishna or Lord Vishnu together with his consort. Prasuti, the wife of Daksh, implored the Lord to turn the priests into Vaishnavas instead of simply fruitive workers performing sacrifices for some material benefits. So she is compassionate. She is asking the Lord because the priests, many priests, what happens is the priests are so expert in chanting the Vedic hymns, they forget that the reason to chant these Vedic hymns is to get the favor of the Lord. We may get so involved in the rituals, we may get so involved into I have to do this, I have to do this. But what is the main thing? To please Krishna. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Did anyone want to add or question anything?
So like she wanted that all the people who were doing the yagya there should be converted into Vaishnavas, because Vaishnavas ultimate motive is Sri Krishna. Is it that?
Yeah, for their benefit.
Okay.
Vaishnav means one who loves Krishna. So
Yeah.
originally, that is the original position of every living entity, of every soul.
Okay. But Purohit may or may not.
Yeah.
right? But the
That's right.
Vaishnava will.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay. So this is like that everybody is offering prayers to Lord Vishnu, right? The
Yes.
eight-handed form of Lord Vishnu when
That's
he
right.
died at the arena.
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
That's Lokapala Ucha
Lokapala.
Drishta Kim no Drikabir Asakrahestvam
Drishta kim no Digbir asatgrahestam
Pratyagdrasta Drishyate Yena Vishwam
Pratyagta dushyate yena vishwam
Maya hi esha bhavadiya hi bhuman
Maya hi esha bhavadiya hi bhuman
Yastvam Shastha Panchabir Bhasi Bhutehe
yatsam shashta panchabhirbhasi bhute.
Translation and purport. The governors of various planets spoke as follows: Dear Lord, we believe only in our direct perception, and therefore we see you as a creation of the material world. But under the circumstances, we do not know whether we have actually seen you with our material senses. By material senses, we can simply perceive the cosmic manifestation, but you're beyond the five elements. You are the sixth. So these are the governors of various planets. Every planet has a certain personality who's in charge of the planet: Surya, Sol, the sun god, moon god. You know, a tradition before, even the earth had one emperor. Like, for example, why it's called Bharatvarsh. The entire earth used to be called Bharatvarsh after the name of the king Bharat, the son of Rishabdev. We will be hearing about him in the fifth canto. So the governors of the various planets are certainly materially opulent and very puffed up. You know, imagine we have maybe one house or maybe, whatever possessions. But here they have the entire planet. They're ruling the entire planet. So of course pride comes in, no? How we get prideful of our possessions. So such persons are unable to understand the transcendental eternal form of the Lord. The Lokapala they are saying they are not able to understand, because they are saying we have material senses, we have material eyes, we are not able to understand your form. So Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, just try to understand the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities. He's saying, just try to understand this point that my form and my pastimes are not material. They are not like ordinary living entities, but they are transcendental. And by understanding that, Krishna says, you can easily come back home. You will attain my eternal nature. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that only persons who have anointed their eyes with love of Godhead can see the personality of Godhead in every step of their activities. Prema Pumartho Mahan. This is Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma is saying, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. That the eyes, put the makeup, we put, things in our eyes. So Brahmaji says, those who have anointed the eyes, they've put in the eyes the salve of love, can see Krishna everywhere and all the activities. And Prabhupada gives the example that because the mother loves the son so much, so she may see the bag of the son. The son is not there, but the bag is there. But immediately she will remember the son. Why? Because of her love for him. She does not see only the bag. She says, this bag belongs to my son. Similarly, the pure devotee, because he has developed his love for Krishna, he can see Krishna everywhere. Also in the prayers of Kunti, Bhagavatam 1:826, it is stated that only those who are akinchana gocharam, Akinchana gochara means who has no material possessions. We were hearing yesterday Caitaniya Caritamita. Akinchana means having no material possessions. And Kunti Maharani says that Krishna is the property of those who have no material possessions. Akinchana gocharam, who are not materially puffed up, can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Others are bewildered and cannot even think of the absolute truth. Because we get so involved in our possessions, our, me and mine related to the body, we completely ignore Krishna. But the pure devotee, their relation with Krishna is already established. They are in that relationship. So their consciousness is completely Krishna conscious and they are not bewildered. They don't think of themselves as the body, but they have understood their true identity. Yogeshwara Ucha
Yogeshwara Ucha
Preyannate Anyo Asti Amutastvai Prabho
Amuta Tavi
Vishvatmanikshena Prathagya Atmanaha Athapi Bhaktyesha Tayopadhavatam Ananya Vrityanugrahana Vatsala. The great mystic said, "Dear Lord, persons who see you as non-different from themselves, knowing that you are the super soul of all living entities, are certainly very, very dear to you. You are very favorable toward those who engage in devotional service, accepting you as the Lord and themselves as the servants. By your mercy, you are always inclined in their favor." So the mystics, the yogis, they are saying that the personalities who see you uh, who understand your position, who understand that you are the super soul, and these persons are dear to you because they already understand the position of the Supreme Lord. They are not ignoring, they're not saying God does not exist. They are not saying, oh, everyone is God. No, but they're understanding the position of the Supreme Lord as the super soul in everyone. You're very favorable towards those who engage in devotional service. Krishna says that one who is a friend is in me and I am a friend to him. Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita. So that's the reason some people say that Krishna is partial. But well, Krishna is not partial as such that anyone can become Krishna's friend. He does not say, oh, only these particular people can become my friend. He says anyone can become my friend. But yes, once you become my friend, you are very dear to me. This is Krishna's partiality and impartiality because he does not restrict anyone to become his friend, accepting you as the Lord and themselves as the servants. So the pure devotees, what are they doing? They're always engaging in devotional service. They have completely understood themselves as servants of the Lord. So in the five eternal rasas, Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya, this Dasiras is there in all of them. That I am an eternal servant of Krishna. That is the foundation of all the other ras. By your mercy, you are always inclined in their favor. And this, that the devotee is thinking himself as a servant of the Lord, is because he loves the Lord so much. When you love someone, you want to serve them. So, because there is this loving exchange between the Lord and the devotee. So, the devotee is serving the Lord and the Lord is serving the devotee. It is indicated in this verse that the monists and the great mystics know the Supreme Personality of Godhead as one. This oneness is not the misunderstanding that a living entity is equal in every respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here, Prabhupada is pointing out that even though the mystics are saying that, okay, you're one, but they understand this one and different. They're not saying that the living entities are God. No. This monism is based on pure knowledge as described and confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.17. Priyohi jani no tyartham aham sacha mama priya. The Lord says that those who are advanced in transcendental knowledge and know the science of Krishna consciousness are very dear to Him, and He is also very dear to them. Those who are actually in perfect knowledge of the science of God know that the living entities are superior energy of the Supreme Lord. So because the pure devotee, his relationship is already established with the Lord. After all, whenever you have a relationship, there is emotions, there is feelings. Krishna is a person. He's the supreme person. So he has this exchange with the devotee, and he's saying these devotees are really very dear to me, and the Lord is similarly very dear to the devotee. The devotee, he has the transcendental knowledge, he knows the science of Krishna consciousness. Always is called science of Krishna consciousness. Why? Because it's not just some theory that you talk about. No, if we actually practice it, we will become Krishna conscious. It's not just some philosophy, some sentiment, and that people just sit around and talk about. No, no, it is a fact. We follow what we hear and we will become Krishna conscious. Those who are actually in perfect knowledge of the science of God know that the living entities are superior energy of the Supreme Lord. This is stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7. The material energy is inferior and the living entities are superior energy. So Krishna speaks about his energies in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, in which he says that the material energy is his external energy, and we, the Jivatmas, the living entities, we are his superior energy. Energy and the energetic are not different. Therefore, energies possess the same quality as the energetic. So we can see how Prabhupada is taking so much effort to try to explain to us this point of oneness and difference, because here the mystics are saying that you are one. So see how Prabhupada is gradually trying to make us understand what does this oneness mean. It doesn't mean that the living entities are God. No, the living entity is the superior energy of the Lord. So the energy and the energetic is the same. In the sense, when we say the sun and the sunshine, the sun, when the sunshine is in the room, we say, oh, the sun is in my room. But it's not the sun, it's just the sunshine. The sunshine is the energy of the sun. Similarly, we, the living entities, we are the energy of Krishna. Persons who are in full knowledge of the personality of Godhead, analyzing his different energies and knowing their own constitutional position, are certainly very, very dear to the Lord. Persons, however, who may not even be conversant with knowledge of the Supreme Personality, but who always think of the Lord with love and faith, feeling that He is great and they are His parts and parcels, ever His servitors, are even more favored by Him. So, someone may have this perfect knowledge of the Supreme Lord, that what is his position, and that the living entity is a servant of the Supreme Lord. So such persons are very dear to the Lord because they've understood the position of the Lord and the position of the living entity. But one who who has this love and devotion, who has this devotion for the Lord, this this love in the heart. They feel that He's so great that I'm just a part and parcel of the Lord. They are even more favored by the Lord because their love and the love, the devotion, the feeling, the emotion is there. So that's why they're even more favored. It's not just based on dry knowledge. It's not only the knowledge, but the feeling, the emotion is there. So the particular significance of this verse is that the Lord is addressed as Vatsal. Vatsala means always favorably disposed. The Lord's name is Bhakta Vatsal. The Lord is famous as Bhakta Vatsal, which means that he is always favorably inclined to the devotees, whereas he is never addressed anywhere in the Vedic literature as Jnani Vatsal. So Krishna is called Bhakta Vatsal, that he is always partial, he's always taking care of his devotees. Bhakta Vatsal, he always has this personal connection with the devotees. The personalities who have love, who have faith, who have devotion for him. Krishna is never called Jnani Vatsal. He is not as much favorably inclined to the philosophical speculators as much as he is to the devotees. He's famous as Bhaktavatsal. His names are like that: Yashodanandan, or Partha Sarthi. All these names are Krishna's names are with joined with his devotees. So we'll stop here today.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening and enjoying in Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.